Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Kentucky Route Zero. Now it seems like whenever I quit the game it respawns me to the nearest location I was last, or not, I guess nearest main location, although I did actually roam around a bit and it seems like all the areas I visited before are still considered visited, so I don't have to worry about missing out on any of the story. Not that I missed out on it. Yeah, I'm not sure if like where I visit on this main map at all affects later on, like where we can go or anything like that, or maybe if it affects the story. I'm not quite sure. I don't really think it does. I think honestly all the locations that you visit here are kind of just flavor text, which is fine with me because I mean the writing in this game I'd say is quite well done. I mean honestly I don't really know what's going on half the time because the game's kind of confusing. Yeah, there's a guitar player here apparently. I guess let's take a look at him. A young man in gray stained clothes sits by the side of the road. He's playing a worn guitar. To his left is a blue mug and to his right a weathered dog. I guess let's... I don't know. Listen. The young man strums absently on the guitar, hums tunelessly, and occasionally mumbles a word. Guess let's just listen. The young man whistles hoarsely, stops playing the guitar, then looks up at Conway. He rambles for a few minutes about the weather, the dog, and his music, and then returns to playing. As he walks back to his truck, Conway finds that he can hardly remember a word the man spoke. Yeah, I definitely think that this game is sort of implying that this entire place is kind of a ghost town and that everything we're seeing is, like, everyone, for the most part, that we're seeing, I think is just visions or hallucinations or something like that. It's kind of funny too because, like I said, I tried playing this game like a month ago and because of stupid recording problems I kind of just gave up on playing. And I remember seeing, I talked to this guitar player and I remember I chose the put dollar in cup, and it's kind of funny because, I don't know, the writing is pretty well done and it kind of makes you want to replay the game and choose each dialogue tree, because I remember the one time I chose to put a dollar in his cup and instead what he said was it said like, oh, he removes the dollar from his whiskey cup or something like that, or his cup of whiskey or some sort of alcohol, so it kind of made you think, oh, he's not playing for money, he's just a drunk who likes playing on the guitar every once in a while. Or I guess he just does it for fun. Yeah. So it's funny how if you choose different things it kind of, I don't know, there's always interesting little flavor text that gets added in when you choose a different dialogue path, but doesn't really make much of a difference. There's a museum. I guess let's go inside. A sign in front of the building just reads museum. The lights are off, but the front is open. Well, I guess let's go in. I mean, if the door's open, that means you're allowed in, right? I think that's how law works. If the person lets the door unlocked, then it's not trespassing. A few feet inside the museum doors, the ambient sound of the highway drops sharply away. The room is cold, dark, and still. A book lies open on a table in the center of the room. An open hallway extends to the left. Large glass doors bar the path ahead. We got three choices. I guess I'll look at the book. There's no title on the book. Book's spine or cover. A three-word phrase written in pencil on the first page is smudged and indecipherable. On the first page, someone has left an ink drawing of a horse. Several dozen blank pages later, at the end of a book, is an elaborate ink drawing of a one-legged man working an antique adding machine surrounded by whiskey bottles. I guess let's walk through the glass doors. The glass doors won't budge. To apply any more force would likely break them. Let's force them. The glass shatters. Somewhere ahead, a light switches on. After a moment, it switches off. The room is dark again, and the floor is covered in broken glass. I guess let's walk through the glass doors. Broken glass grinds under Conway's boots as he walks down the hall. He has the feeling of being in a larger space. Very little light reaches the far end of the hallway. Let's feel the walls. The walls are completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel his breath and sweat condensing on the surface. I guess let's feel the floor. The floor is completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel his breath and sweat condensing on the surface. I guess we want to return, huh? That's interesting. Yeah, the game's, I don't know, it's like each location is kind of like something from either like Lovecraft or the Twilight Zone. It's always kind of interesting just to read because it doesn't make any sense oftentimes like what's going on, but it's just, I think, at least to me personally, it kind of just draws you in to read it more anyways. I don't know. Guess let's go to the hallway. Conway's steps echo throughout or against the hallway's marble floor and arched ceilings. Plexiglass boxes line the walls. The hallway dead ends on a darkened display case. I guess let's look at the darkened display case. The display case is several yards wide, but just a few feet off the ground. It's unlit, and back in the corner of the darkened museum, very little moonlight creeps in. A gold-plated plaque on the surface of the case is a bit easier to read. It recounts a short history of fowl hunting in the region, and then speculates abruptly about the nature of addiction. Okay, then. What did I even read? Okay, I looked at the display case. I should do things from top to bottom, because then I just actually know what I clicked on more easily. Alright, the first box just a few feet into the hall contains an assortment of bird wings. Some are missing feathers. One large, brightly colored wing almost glows in the moonlight. Its feathers are intact, but a piece of bone pokes awkwardly out from the tip. Huh. Guess let's go to the entrance. Yes. Words. I think that's about all we can look at, huh? Sign in the front of the... yeah. No, we'll just leave, I guess. Kind of strange though, because I think we can still visit this. Yeah, most of the locations, as you saw, once you visit them the first time, they're just completely inaccessible, but the museum, for whatever reason, is not... It's one of the few exceptions. Oh, actually, I think there was something... yeah, I just remembered. I'm trying to remember things on the map that I remember going to last time, and then I haven't gone to yet. I just remembered one. And I think I know where it is, for the most part. Yeah, there's so many winding roads, you don't really know which one will take you down a path with an actual location on it. Yeah, because obviously all of that didn't have anything. Interstate 65. I think it's on this road, too. I think it's like a... yeah, here it is. I don't think we went to this wreck, did we? My memory is a bit jittery because, like I said, I've played this game so many times I can't remember what I played when. So yeah, here's where the wreck was. And actually, here's something I didn't notice the first time I played it, which is kind of funny. Let's just keep going. I should really close the curtains in my room because this game's so dark I can't even really see what's on screen. Yeah, but as you can see, there's two coffins there. I didn't notice that the first time I was here, I remember. But yeah, there's coffins. That's interesting. And yeah, there are bottles, but why the hell is there two coffins? That doesn't really make sense. Takes a minute to think. It's weird. Conway has nowhere to go. Oh, I should have clicked that. I was trying to click through the text, but I accidentally clicked off of that. That's weird. Conway has nowhere to go. Yeah, I wish I would have clicked on that, but whatever. Yeah, I do think, although some might say that if by playing a game like this, I'm kind of ruining the fact that like the story is sort of meant for I don't know. I guess you might say that I'm taking away sales or something from people who otherwise might buy the game, but I do think the story is so well written, and because of all the different choices, if you truly enjoy the writing, you might as well just go ahead and buy the game and play through, but choose different options because... and yeah, this is so weird. This is the burning tree I remember, what is his name? Joseph mentioned. And it's so weird. Like, why is there just a burning tree? That just makes no sense. There's so many things like that in this game. There's just, like, for the most part, a lot of things you try to make sense out of, and it seems like some of the things seem kind of logical, but then it's like, why is there just a random burning tree and there's no mention of it? Like, you'd think our character might even say, like, oh, a burning tree. That's kind of unusual. So get Blue again. Yeah, it's same saying as before. We can actually talk to Blue too. I don't think we tried yet. Conway rubs Blue's belly. And we can just choose to talk, but it doesn't make a difference because obviously dogs don't understand human people's or human speech, I should say. At least not for the most part. Pretty dark out there, huh? Hope I can borrow you a treat up there. Yeah, and that was a person in the foreground walking by. That's kind of creepy, isn't it? Yeah, this game, it's weird because it's like, it's not really necessarily a scary game. I just say that there's parts of it that are quite unsettling. And this game actually is in 3D. I kind of thought it was in 2D, but I looked at the developer's site. No, yeah, I didn't even mention this before. I should probably mention it. This game is going to be 5 acts long. I think that it started getting developed in 2013, or I think that's when the first act was released. And now it's up to Act 3, and there's supposed to be 5 acts. Apparently the 4th act is supposed to be released pretty soon, but I guess the developer likes working on Valve time, because he said it's going to come out soon, but that was like 3 months ago. And I think now it should be coming out soon, but I don't know. I hate when a developer says like, oh, something will be out soon, because that's so subjective. Like, to me, soon is like in a week or 2 weeks, but to them, soon might be within a year or something. It's kind of very vague. I think that goes to show when a developer has no idea how much more work they want to put into their project or how much needs to be done. Okay, it says a family graveyard is set off to the side of the house. Headstones are inscribed with the surnames of the unfortunate. Nowakowski, Padilla, and Marquez. That's kind of weird because isn't our guys' names Marquez, and surname is, I think your surname is your last name, right? Or is it your first name? God, I don't even know. I've never really, I don't know. I think the last time I saw the word surname was probably on like a legal thing years ago, because it's not really a word most people say. You just say first name or last name. But yeah, that's kind of weird how there's a Marquez. So either that's the last name, but I think that's first name, isn't it? Surname? I don't know. It's either first name or last name. But regardless, it's kind of weird how there's 2 people with different names, and then there's Marquez. And that's the person we're supposed to be seeing, isn't it? There's the house, and it seems pretty dead, doesn't it? There's no lights coming out. It looks pretty old. There is some laundry hanging, but it doesn't exactly look like the sort of thing people would wear. It's pitch black. I guess let's turn on the light switch. Here it is, Weaver. Actually, I think this is her last name. I think it's Marquez Weaver, so I think she's supposed to be dead. I was just thinking about what a lovely house we have. Do you like it? Have you been here before? Did you happen to see an owl? Well, that's kind of a lot of unrelated sentences, isn't it? I think we can only choose one to answer. I guess I'll answer the second one. No, I've never been here before. I know, it must seem very strange to you. I was here when this house was built, so it's never been strange to me. That's interesting because she looks really young, doesn't she? At least for the most part. Yet this house looks quite old. And on that note, why would she say I know? Like, why would you ask someone something like that if you already know the answer? There used to be another house here, but we had it destroyed, and we built this one. It was very expensive, and we got quite underwater. What do you do for work? Is it too difficult for you? Is it too difficult, or do you like it very much? I was once a mathematician. Are you looking for something in particular here? She kind of just is doing a lot of, I don't know. What's the word? I remember there's this word in psychology for when people kind of just say a bunch of things that are completely irrelevant. It's like I think it's like a symptom of people that have schizophrenia. They'll just kind of say sentences and ask things that just make no sense and have nothing to do with anything. That kind of seems like what she's doing. Alright, I guess I drive deliveries for a small antique shop. I believe it's hard times for a small antique shop. It's hard times everywhere, even out here on our little farm. My parents stopped paying the bank a while back. I shouldn't even be here, but I just stayed. I have some notebooks. I'm only a little bored. I might prefer to watch TV occasionally. It's like, what the hell? I have notebooks. I'm only a little bored. Like, I didn't ask you what do you do for fun. You're just saying that. Joseph says you're too smart to watch TV. That was a nice thing to say, but he was wrong. It's kind of weird why you'd put was there. But he was wrong. I'm not as smart as I used to be. Well, actually, I suppose I am as smart as I used to be, but never any smarter. I don't learn anything new anymore. I write some figures, but nothing radical. I think that's supposed to be a math joke, because I know there's radical numbers and stuff, so I'm assuming she's trying to do a play on words with radical being both the numbers and just saying radical as in something out of the ordinary. Ha ha ha. I'll bet he sent out that old TV along with you, didn't he? Of course he did. That was clever of him. How was that clever? Will you please set it up? Then I can go... Then I can explain to you how to get where you're going. The zero. I know. Why do you know? Oh yeah, and even though... Oh yeah, we had the TV all along, which is kind of funny. I didn't even see it. Actually, let's look at the sink. An abandoned spider web stretches across the bottom of a saucepan. The skillet is seasoned with dust. Yeah, that makes it seem like someone hasn't been here for a long time. I think it's kind of... This is kind of like the other area where I'm pretty sure she's not supposed to even be... I'm pretty sure she's a ghost, pretty much, to be perfectly honest. Which, I mean, I guess that's cool, huh? So I guess we're setting up a TV now. And there's the light of the TV. And apparently now we can see through walls. Either that or maybe the walls aren't actually there. Because you can even see the cobwebs that are in the walls, I guess. I guess we could just keep staring at the screen forever if we truly wanted, but let's actually talk to her. It seems to be a cow or something, or maybe a horse. That's not how it's supposed to look. You've made a mistake setting up. Is it a foreign object to you? Which of your parents was it who wouldn't allow you to watch television? Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Like, that's just so weird how she says that. And I can either say, Ma thought she heard ghosts in the static, Dad thought it was radioactive, or screw you, I know how to set up a TV. Guess we'll say Mom thought she's heard ghosts in the static. I know about that. She was ill, wasn't she? Mentally, I mean. Kind of distant. Fearful? No, just... fearful. Yeah, that's a way to put it. You have it all backwards. I'm not surprised, are you? Have you been paying attention? I don't think you have. It's time to start paying attention now, Conway. Look closely at the television. Okay. And the funny thing is, when you try to look at the television, we don't actually look at the television, we look through the wall out into the distance at the farm. And this is actually the image I used for my title card. I don't know why I chose this. I guess I just felt like, I don't know, well, I looked up Kentucky Route Zero and this seemed like one of the few images that I thought would make sense to put on the same title card over and over. I don't think I'm quite popular enough yet that I want to be making a different title card for every video, because that actually takes a bit of effort. Okay. And I actually did stare at this for like a minute when I did this the first time and nothing happens, so we just have to click and then dialogue comes up. Hey, wake up. You spaced out for a minute there. I guess let's ask, what do you keep out in the barn? Used to be tools and feed, then books. Now I think it's mostly spiders. The TV is picking up the wrong signal. My cousin Shannon would know more about it. She fixes TVs for a living. Well, she used to. I think the new models are giving her some trouble. Your cousin? It's my father's brother's daughter. Well, yeah, that is what a cousin typically is. Like, why would you have to say that? I don't know. I wonder if this is just supposed to be part of her personality or just, I don't know. Okay, we're about the same age. Well, we used to be. She's older now. She has a workshop up north a ways, by the lake, right where Peonia and Wax Road meet. There's a big bait and tackle shop, and she fixes TVs in the back. Do you like fishing? Honestly, I'm not convinced you should bother with the Zero. I'd much rather you find my cousin and fix my TV, but I'll get you headed the right way. So it's pretty easy. Get back on 65 heading north. Then take the first right after the artificial limb factory. From there, your arrival at the Zero is basically inevitable. Nice to know you, Conway. Keep your eyes open, especially in the dark. That's kind of weird, an artificial limb factory. I don't think such a thing would exist in real life, and I say that because I feel like artificial limbs aren't really something that's mass-produced. Like, I feel like they're usually specially crafted items for the most part. Like, I don't think there's enough of a demand for artificial limbs that there's actual factories dedicated to it, but what do I know? Maybe there's just one factory that makes every artificial limb for everyone in the world or something, but somehow I doubt that. Especially considering most of the artificial limbs I've seen are so expensive that a lot of people just go without any sort of artificial limb just because of how damn expensive they usually are. So there's that. That was weird, wasn't it? She is definitely a character. There's a graveyard. Now there's some sort of folk song going on. So in the foreground where we saw that one guy walk past, now there's a bunch of, well, I guess to be honest it looks like a bunch of country bumpkins deciding to have a good old time and sing. Although, the question is, are they even really there? Because as you can see... Oh. I don't like Siege. My friend keeps trying to get me to play Rainbow Six Siege, but I don't want to play it. Okay, what was I gonna say then? Yes, this looks like it's not an actual building that would be inhabitable, so the question is, are these people even really there? I guess the real question is anyone even here in this town? Are we even here? Oh man, we're getting deep. Guess let's talk to Blue. Conway pats Blue on the side. There are some horses out there behind the house. I just met the strangest lady. I think that's pretty appropriate. She kind of creeps me out, Blue. I mean, I'll agree with him there. Just had a weird energy. That's not her fault, I guess. Guess I'll say that. Just had a weird energy. I guess we can just sit here and listen to them. But maybe not. Actually, you know what? I'm going to sit here and listen to them for a bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and end the episode, so, yeah. Yeah, I wonder if this music was something that was maybe from, like, the developer's, like, local town, or if they just found it online or something. I think it would give it I don't know, an extra interesting touch if it was something that was actually, like, gathered live from some local artist that the developer of the game might know or might have heard of. But yeah, I think I'll just end it here. So yeah, thank you all for watching. And actually, oh, I never stayed here that long. After a while, it just zooms right in. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and hope to see you next time on Kentucky Route Zero. Goodbye.